Sex traffickers are often hiding in plain sight in our communities. A predator can be on the other end of a social media message or on gaming devices.
Anytime there's like a commercial hub, that often leads to individuals who have been trafficking.
We have this idea of what a trafficker might look like, and you're missing the dad that's in the expensive suit buying a caramel macchiato in front of you at Starbucks.
Statistics show most victims are not kidnapped, but go willingly with someone who has gained their trust.
It's all based on vulnerability and somebody who's willing to exploit that vulnerability. The knight in shining armor who's here to take care of all your needs.
Detective Joe Scaramucci is part of the McLennan County Sheriff's Office in Waco. Their human trafficking task force has arrested nearly 150 traffickers and identified 270 victims.
It's coming through social media, through your locked door to your 14-year-old daughter. And it's coming in the form of not somebody who's kidnapping, but somebody who's saying, wow, you sure are pretty.
He says traffickers could be a single person looking to exploit a minor or someone without any money or a place to stay. They sometimes run in gangs, prostituting groups, in hotels or on the streets or out of a massage parlor. Interstate travel is common, often moving from Houston to San Antonio and Austin or Dallas. Perhaps the most famous case of trafficking was that of the deceased New York socialite and financier Jeffrey Epstein.
The thing that's unique about Jeffrey Epstein is he's a billionaire.
He famously trapped victims into feeling like they could not escape unless they recruited others who they would then be in charge of. It's what's known in trafficking as a bottom, a victim becoming the captor or even pimp and abuser to those they recruit.
And there's a lot of guilt and shame around being a bottom.
Allison Franklin is a survivor who acted as a bottom. She now dedicates her life to helping victims.
You know, they have to break your spirit. And for me, being a bottom was like that final act of surrender, right? I no longer have my own identity. I don't fight back anymore.
For Franklin, it started at the age of 12. She became a runaway. And for 10 years, she was trafficked by a pimp who beat her repeatedly and forced her to recruit others. For survivors, the emotional trauma is lasting.
There's hope, right? People do recover from human trafficking. We can make a difference.
A single count of trafficking is punishable in Texas by 20 years to life in prison. Victim advocates are now pushing for new state laws that would help identify these traffickers sooner so their victims don't take the fall for them, and also to get those victims the help they need to leave once and for all without fear of retribution. Diana Rocco, News 4, San Antonio.